You never quit RuneScape, you just take breaks. For the past 4 years I have lived by that rule and both played the game with passion as well as taken extended breaks. In this 3-chaptered video I catalogue the progress of my Group Ironman account since my last batch of videos from late 2021 when the account was just a few months old. Welcome to the Repilot, starting with Chapter 1, 2022 to 2024. The recap starts in 2022, which takes us back almost 4 years. I played fairly inconsistently back then, with my main achievements being getting fighter torsos with my Ironman group, Specsavers, and completing the usual early game goals such as Dragon Defender, Fire Cape, Slayer Helm and Barrels Gloves. Additionally, I completed a bunch of quests and was very diligent with my farm runs. And in fact, in 2023, I started the year by hitting 99 farming. That year, the Dagonoth King's Rings were achieved as a result of some group gaming. I also did a whole lot of questing and almost got the quest cape just before the release of Desert Treasure 2, but ended up going on an extended break for most of the rest of the year. Which means I was not there when the pioneers of the group got multiple Lightbearers and Fangs, which I have used ever since, even though I mainly do stick to getting item upgrades on my own now. Oh, and they also got the Tumik and Shadow, which is just incredible. I started 2024 by catching Chinchompas to turn them into fast range experience to start what ended up being a long road to the Corrupted Gauntlet. I ended up needing to supplement the Chinchompa grind and decided to get 1000 Skirious KC to get my range level into the 90s. I completed all the medium clues that I got from the Rat King and ended up getting Ranger Boots. Then, while practicing regular Gauntlet, I somehow got the pet. We did some Chambers of Xeric as a group, and after getting majorly carried by my teammates long before my own PBM arc, I was fortunate enough to unlock both Rigor and Augury. All in all, this was a big skiller year for me, with the notable milestones of getting construction to 85 and quote-unquote maxing my player-owned house, and training mining, fishing, herblore and hunter to the low to mid 90s. I also achieved base 70s and started approaching 2k total by the end of the year. This finally brings us to Chapter 2, most of 2025, during which I have played consistently and been very into the game. At the start of the year I hit some big drops and managed to get the farming pet Tangleroot at 43 million farming XP. Oh yeah, I have a lot of farming XP. In fact, I've continued post pet and now I'm at 64 million XP and over 500 Hespori KC. Anyway, I also went ahead and got 99 fire making at Wintertod and 99 woodcutting by first doing forestry and then AFKing redwoods. On the way to 99 woodcutting, I even got the pet. That was a ton of fun. Now, learning and completing the Corrupted Gauntlet had been a long-term goal of mine for multiple years, but I just never got to it. I wasn't interested enough to be up for the challenge. However, in the summer of 2025, it finally clicked mechanically, and that put everything in motion for me PVM wise. I did CG non-stop whenever I had the time to play in July and August. In September, I took a brief break from CG and got the quest cape for the first time ever. And back then my luck had been horrible everywhere for months, until one beautiful morning, when I was taking a break from CG, I hit one of the dream drops of every single Ironman account. I got an imbued heart, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back, baby. My luck had completely turned around. In the span of 1 week in late September following the imbued heart, I received multiple items from Perilous Mons, a piece of the evil chicken outfit, and then, most importantly, for the greatest moment of my Old School Runescape career, I had not put my microphone on. The reaction of pure elation simply cannot be remade, so I will only give you my word and highlight the vigorous shaking of my mouse as I got up from my desk to celebrate like never before. I got the enhanced crystal weapon seed at 551 KC and could finally make the Bow of Ferdinand, which I most likely cannot pronounce as I do not know Welsh. Also, according to the wiki, Ferdinand means silent spirits in Tolkien's constructed Elvish, meaning that the Bofa is the Bow of Silent Spirits. But what matters most is that I finally had my dream weapon. Which brings us to Chapter 3. Now that I have the Bofa, I've been throwing myself at raids and bosses, but I've only really scratched the surface by this point. I'm very keen on pushing myself to become better at the game, but for now I'm in the humble beginnings of solo PvMing. However, I have already hit some nice milestones in combat skills while grinding out Slayer levels and working on finishing some typical mid-game Ironman gear upgrades. And I even did some Yama with the group mates, but no drops thus far, apart from a dossier. Additionally, here's a clip of my first ever Deathless Insanity Warden in a whopping 160 invocation raid. I'm gonna tank a hit here. Holy crap! Got close. On. Yes! Yes, I got it! Insanity done. Deathless. Oh, that feels good. No purple, but that is just fine. So, what comes next? Well, these are my current stats, so I suppose this is the official start of my road to max. Although maxing is still very far away. However, currently I'm focused on some more achievable goals, such as completing the elite combat achievements, getting some long overdue gear upgrades, and facing increasingly more difficult PvM content for the first time. And of course, making the most of Old School's first new skill, sailing.